What's up, guys? There are some things that have been driving me absolutely insane on my Raptor, and this happens on a lot of the Ford vehicles. I decided enough is enough. We're gonna fix it. I ordered the part off Amazon. We can now adjust these settings. And basically, the three things that drive me insane on the Raptor is when you get out of the truck with your keys, the truck's running. It does that stupid double honk thing. The second thing is the automatic start stop. I actually already have this disabled, but I kind of have it done the hack way. And this is actually a way that anybody could do this, and it's very simple. And the other feature that I absolutely hate is the seatbelt dinger. I always wear my seatbelt, so I really don't care about that. But here's what happens. I'll be filming like I am now with holding the camera. I need to get a mount in the truck so I don't hold it, but I've got Wrigley in the passenger seat. And after maybe like 45 minutes to an hour, for some reason, the truck just decides, hey, we just now realized that there's a heavy object person in the passenger seat, and it starts making the seatbelt dinger go off, even though I have mine on. So it drives me insane because mid-talk, it goes off, and it doesn't just go off once, it just keeps going off. It's very, very annoying, and we're gonna disable that as well. So we're gonna end up using Forscan. The program itself is free. You just need to buy the OBD2 adapter. That adapter, there's like some cheaper ones on Amazon. The best one to get is gonna be that one for $59. I'll link it below. That one I've just heard is the best one, hands down. If you guys want to go a little cheaper and try the cheaper OBD2 adapters, feel free, but I just bought the $60 one. The stuff that I'm going to adjust, you can basically adjust on any Ford vehicle. Obviously, there's going to be different features you can mess with since some vehicles come with different accessories. So we're going to get back to the crib and we're going to plug in and show you guys what settings we're going to adjust and make my Raptor a lot better. To get this started, there are two things you're going to need. The OBD2 adapter, which goes from your OBD2 port to USB-A on your computer, just a regular USB port, and you're going to need a Windows computer. Now, you can, however, use a MacBook, but you're going to have to be a little technologically savvy, or you're going to have to run a software like Parallels. There's a couple other ways to do it. The best and easiest preferred method is going to be using a Windows computer. I have a MacBook. I have a Windows computer. I'd much rather use my MacBook. Let's jump onto the computer. Now, if you guys purchase the OBD Link EX, this adapter right here, it comes with like a little cheat sheet on directions. So the first thing you need to do, download Forscan app, and then once we get that downloaded, connect this to the computer. Then once we're good, plug it into the truck. This should light up green. So then my OBD2 port on my Raptor, this guy right here, we're gonna plug right into there. Once we plug in, this light should turn green. All right, so we got the truck hooked up, we got the green light, so let's get on Forscan here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come down to the bottom left-hand corner, connect to vehicle, and you got to make sure that your key is in the on position, but it doesn't have to be running. So now you'll see in the bottom left corner, vehicle ready. So we're going to come down. When you hover over it, it'll say what it is, but we're going to go to configuration and programming. So the first thing we're going to do, you're going to see, say for instance, we're going to use this guy first, body CM, but there's the same one as built format. For this one, we're going to go with the non-as-built. So click on this guy, hit this button down here, run, and there's just all sorts of things you can adjust. We want to turn off double honk on leaving cabin. It's enabled right now, edit selected, switch it to disabled, hit the check mark, come down here, hit right, and then old value enabled, new value disabled. Car kind of flashes, resets, and it's still going to tell you to power cycle. So I pretty much power, anytime I just do one individual change, I power cycle the truck no matter what. It basically tells you to do that anyway. If it doesn't, it's a good practice. So now we're good here. We're going to come back up. Actually, we're going to hit stop down here. Stop service. We're going to come up to configuration and programming. So now here's where we're going to adjust the mirrors. We want my mirrors to automatically fold in when I hit the lock button. So we're going to come down. And so we're going to use PDM and DDM. And we're not going to use this one. We're going to use the ones that say as built format. So the first one we're going to do is PDM, which I believe is passenger side. So hit run. So the first value we're going to change is 741-03-01. And all we need to do is get rid of the 2 zeros in the middle. 84. right, and you're going to see this number right. This is going to change when you hit right. Power cycle, and then we're going to come down to 7411201, and all we're going to change on that guy is that first 0. We're going to make it an F. Hit right, power cycle. So now the passenger side's good. We're going to do the exact same thing for the driver's side. We're going to come down, hit stop service, configuration and programming, come down to the DDM side, hit the run button. This one's 740, the other one was 741, but we're going to use the same -03-01, so we're going to change this, the 2 zeros to 84, power cycle, and then we're going to come down to the 74012-01, get rid of that first 0, make it an F, right, power cycle. Okay, those are the only changes I'm going to make right now, but that's just a little tutorial on Forscan. It's super simple, pretty safe for the most part. You're going to want this little chart. I'll link it down below, and it's kind of like a cheat sheet for the codes for the numbers that you got to type in, because I'm no wizard and I don't just randomly know these codes. Somebody put it together, and I will link it below. I was going to do the option where you can hit the button on your key fob, all of your windows go down, but I kind of think I'm going to hold off on that. Since I'm in Iowa, winter's not too far away, I really feel like there's going to be a time where I accidentally hit that button somehow, and all of my windows are going to be down in the wintertime. So I think we're going to do that in the future, but we're going to wait till after winter. Now that we have the Forscan stuff out of the way, I'm going to show you guys that the features actually work. So everything that we did do on the computer is actually legitimate. So we're going to check to make sure the truck is running. We're going to grab the keys. And usually by the time I get to the front of the truck, the horn honks twice. Right in front of you, it's annoying. So that's gone. And then the power folding mirrors, let's check that. We're just going to go ahead, hit this lock button. And just like so, we have locking power mirrors. Once you hit the unlock, they're not going to open until you open and shut the door. And then by the time you shut the door, it is now back opening. The last two things that I need to show you, I didn't disable the auto start stop in Forscan. I started reading things about it. There's people saying that you could potentially throw like a check engine code. I don't know. It just sounded like it wasn't really like vital to do it that way. You could still do it that way, but the way I do it, we're going to show you real quick. I've actually been running my truck this way almost since I got it, and I've had 0 issues doing this. What you're going to do, you're going to come over to your negative terminal on the battery, and you're going to see this little connector that's plugged in. Just push it right here. Unplugs. Okay, so that is now disabling your auto start stop. But you're like, Jimmy, what do you do with it now? You just leave it, just like that. Not plugged in, just like that. It'll stay like that. I've had it like this I've had the truck now for almost a year. Never had an issue with it like this. And now this other hack, I just figured this out. It took me a second, and I'm going to tell you guys how I did it, and it's probably going to save you a lot of time. Wrigley, you're the culprit of this one. So you're going to want to make sure you have your keys. I don't know if you actually have to put your emergency brake on, but I did it anyway. And what we're about to do is we're going to disable the seatbelt chime. There's a way to do it in Forscan. There's 2 different things you need to adjust, and I've just kind of heard more problems than anything. When you can disable this just without Forscan, so this is probably just the proper way to do it. So what you're going to do is turn your key on in the accessory mode. So now you're going to see over here the seatbelt icon. It takes a minute for it to shut off. Okay, so it shut off. So now what you'll do is you'll plug in your seatbelt 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So now after you have buckled it and unbuckled it 3 times, your light comes back on. So now what you'll do is on the last time, you're going to want to make sure you're unbuckled. So now that the light's back on, we're going to click it in, undo it, and you're going to see the seatbelt icon flash. So now my seatbelt chime is back engaged. If I do this again, it's going to disengage it. And I tried this like 5 or 6 times on the passenger side first because I didn't care to disable mine. I just wanted the passenger side disabled. I always wear my seatbelt, no big deal. But it took me like 5 or 6 tries on the passenger side and it just would not work. And then I tried it over here and I got it first try. So I'm like, common sense kicked in, and I'm like, I bet you I have to be sitting in the passenger seat for it to actually work, because these are on 2 separate chimes. Sure enough, I sat over there, did the same thing, it worked. So that's just a little hack, guys. Just know that if you do the driver's side, it's not going to do the passenger side. They're separate. Now I'm going to be able to drive without the seatbelt chime going off when Wrigley's in the passenger seat, and it's going to make me not lose my mind. That's a wrap on making your Ford vehicle less annoying. If you guys have any questions, drop them down in the comments. And in the description below, I'll drop a couple links for the Forscan modifications, like a cheat sheet code, just to help you guys out if there's anything else that you guys want to add or remove. There could be more things you guys want to change that I didn't change today, but I changed the 2 main things. But Wrigley, you ready to go? All right, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.